on the menu it said like you're gonna be scared or something. I forget what it was, but it was basically saying this is like a scary game. Not
No.
really, not really, because nothing attacks you.
Unless blood scares you, I
Unless
guess.
what are you scared of the idea of a bunch of dead body elves? All right, the elves were probably freaks. All right, I'll just say that the elves are probably bad people doing big drugs to get through
Doing
their
blow
awful
off
shift.
with his fucking erect penis.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but all of those elves that were murdered by Santa, they just got out of prison for manslaughter. So maybe they deserved it, right? Manslaughter, they did.
If hell, wait. Well,
They all are killers.
earlier we were talking about if
No redemption, huh?
if elf killing an elf was a crime. How would you convict an elf of a crime? Right? Like it's an elf. Do they exist? Who would be like, oh yeah, the elf murdered my my wife? Like that's a fucking lie.
I'm sure fantasy creatures have to do jury duty, right? So like who do you got on this board? You got the Easter Bunny. You got the Tooth Fairy. You got Sasquatch. They're all there.
But they always get dismissed because they're not part of they're not a good fit.
Yeah.
They're not.
Imagine going to your goddamn murder trial and there's a fucking unicorn in the stand. Like what the fuck are you gonna do? Now this is a premise that we need to explore. I got a movie idea.
The jury duty full up of fucking cryptids.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to prove a few things, right? You're gonna have to appeal. You have to appeal to their fantastical senses, right? Say things like, you got to be like, okay, look, they say I murdered my wife with a big fat carving knife, but I have to ask you a question. I'm a fantasy creature. If I were to murder my wife, it would be big and fantastical. I'd have like, I don't know, I'd give her a poison gumdrop, right? So it really doesn't make sense that I would just simply murder her with a knife. I don't think so, pal. And then the jury, which once again are made up of fantastical creatures, would say things such as, "I believe him."
Yeah.
And an Easter Bunny would be like, if I were to kill my wife, it would be with a poison egg.
I like your Easter Bunny voice. And then the witches are like, oh, all her eyes are still there. None of them are in the stew. He didn't do it.
Right.
Wow.
Hansel and Gretel, who are also on the jury stand, they would say such things as, we were almost murdered, right? We learned that if you get thrown into a fire, you're toast, right? And you get eaten by a witch. So I think this elf, if he were to murder his wife, he would eat her. So they're following along here, and they say, innocent. Actually, I would like to watch a 12 Angry Men type movie with fantasy characters.
That would be a lot of fun.
12 fantasy men. And guess what? I'm not talking about Zac Efron and all those hunks in Hollywood.
Magic Mike.
Oh, boy.
No, baby. I'm talking about fantasy creatures.
12 Angry Men with Zac Efron, Chris Evans, Magic Mike. Oh, okay.
This is sort of our Fat Man, right? Our twisted premise on, like, this is our Shrek, really.
Oh.
I mean, this could be Shrek 5.
Here's hoping.
How wild would it be if Shrek 5, the entirety of the movie, took place in a courtroom? It was
because Shrek murdered Fiona.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be wife? Why does it have to be wife murder? I think that's a bit too dark.
Okay, Fiona killed Shrek. Shrek's not even in Shrek 5.
They're convicted for Lord Farquaad's murder. They're on trial for that.
So that's actually a good idea, because in a Shrek movie, you would expect Shrek to show up. But what if Shrek is dead? It's like a Metal Gear Solid 2 like type of thing where it's like, oh, you thought Shrek was going to be in this bitch? He's in the first 5 minutes. Now he's fucking dead. He's dead now.
Or Godzilla remake, right? Oh, you thought
Bryan Cranston was going to get into a big mech suit, dumbass?
Yeah, right. He died.
Fuck off.
He's dead. I would watch that. Shrek's dead.
I think that's an interesting concept. You sold me. I'd watch it.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Hey, if the dream works, make it. That's what the slogan is at DreamWorks. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, is it really?
If the dream works, get some cameras and film it.
Oh,
Wow.
Chris Farley was supposed to be Shrek. Okay, look.
I watched the animatic yesterday.
Yeah, it's interesting. Mm-hmm.
That is a neat thing. But
instead he had to go live in the big van down by the river in the sky.
There is a man by the river in the third Shrek. I do want to say that. So,
little nod to Chris Farley and S and L. We don't have to get into SNL again. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be good YouTube content though.